When you think about resources, oil, water, minerals, forests, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's this image of a massive natural bounty just there for the taking. But let's dig into that a little. Is that really the full story? So that brings us to the big question for today. Are all these essential things we rely on really just free gifts from nature, like so many of us assume? Well, the official definition tells a totally different story. See, a resource isn't just something that exists in the environment. It has to meet three key criteria. We need the tech to get it, it has to make economic sense, and it needs to be culturally acceptable to use. Right away, that shifts the spotlight from just nature to us. It's about what we can do with what's out there. So let's really pull apart this whole free gift idea. What does it actually take to turn a rock or a river into a resource we can use? This is where it gets really clear. Think of it like a three-legged stool. First, you have nature, which provides the raw materials. But that's just step one. It's humans interacting with nature through technology that make it all happen. And then we create institutions, like governments and companies, to speed up development. So resources aren't just found, they're the result of human ingenuity. Now, this belief that resources are free for the taking, it has a really dark side. Let's talk about the incredible price we're paying for that simple misunderstanding. At its core, this belief that nature's bounty is free and endless is the root of so many of our problems. It's given us a green light to use these resources without a second thought. Just take, without considering the long-term damage to the planet or to our own kids and grandkids. And the consequences of that mindset, they're massive. We're talking about running out of vital resources just to satisfy the greed of a few. It's led to wealth getting concentrated in the hands of a small number of people, creating this huge gap between the haves and have-nots. And of course, it's fueling huge global crises, from climate change to pollution to turning fertile land into desert. Okay, so if that old way of thinking got us into this mess, how do we get out? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in our thinking, a move towards planning for the future. This quote from Gandhiji just nails it, doesn't it? He saw way back when that the real problem wasn't a lack of stuff. The problem was our own greed and the exploitative way we were using technology. It's all about sharing fairly and using what we have mindfully. This whole philosophy is now wrapped up in this idea called sustainable development. It sounds complicated, but it's actually super simple. Live your life today in a way that doesn't ruin things for the people who come after you. It's all about finding that balance between making progress now and keeping the planet healthy for the future. And this isn't some brand new idea. The world has been talking about this for decades. Back in 1968, the Club of Rome was already pushing for conservation. Then in '87, we got the official term, sustainable development. And by 1992, at the Rio Earth Summit, leaders from around the world actually agreed on a global plan. So this has been a long time coming. All right, enough with the abstract ideas. Let's make this real by looking at a resource we literally stand on every single day: land. So let's take India as an example. The land there isn't all the same, right? You've got plains making up 43%, and that's your sweet spot for farming and building cities. Then you've got mountains at 30%, which are absolutely vital for our rivers and for tourism. And finally, 27% is plateaus, and that's where you find a ton of minerals and forests. Every single type has a critical job to do. And this chart shows us how we're actually using that land. Almost half of it is for agriculture, the net sown area. But here's the kicker. Look at the forest cover, just 23.4%. The national goal for a healthy ecosystem is 33%, so we're way below that. This really shows you the immense pressure we're putting on our land resources. So what happens when we use the land over and over without taking care of it? It degrades, and the causes, well, they're pretty much all us. We're talking about things like chopping down forests for mining, letting animals overgraze, and over-irrigating farms in places like Punjab and Haryana, which actually makes the soil salty and useless. Every one of these actions has a direct negative impact. Okay, let's go even deeper now, from the land as a whole to the very living skin of our planet, soil. This is so critical to get. Soil isn't just dirt. It is a living, breathing system that supports all life on land. And get this. It can take millions of years to form just a few centimeters of topsoil. Millions of years. That makes the soil we have right now unbelievably precious. It's practically irreplaceable. And not all soil is created equal. I mean, look at the difference here. You have alluvial soil, which is super fertile and perfect for growing food like wheat and rice. Then you have black soil, which is more clayey and holds moisture really well, making it absolutely ideal for growing cotton. You have to have the right soil for the right crop. It's that simple. Now, the number one threat to this living resource is erosion. It's basically the topsoil getting stripped away and washed down. And while nature, like wind and rain, plays a part, it's human activities, deforestation, bad farming practices that kick this process into overdrive and throw the whole system out of whack. But here's the good news. We know how to fix this. We have proven methods to conserve soil, things like contour plowing and building terraces on hillsides to slow down water, or planting crops in strips and creating shelter belts of trees to break the force of the wind. These are real, practical solutions that actually work. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? It all comes back to this one crucial point. Resources aren't just free gifts we find lying around. They are complex systems that we create, and most importantly, that we have to manage. Our entire future depends on how wisely we do that job. And that leaves us with one final big question. We know resources aren't free. We know their use has real, tangible costs. So the question for every single one of us is, what are we willing to invest of our time, our money, our effort, to make sure we have a sustainable future?